Well, hello there, my beautiful love goods, and welcome back to my channel. So, in today's speed build, I'm kind of building a tiny home, kind of building an apartment. I'm not exactly sure how to name this build, but I'm just going to be calling it a cyberpunk apartment. I'm building this on a 30 by 20 lot here in the beautiful but also kind of gross looking world of Evergreen Harbour. It's currently in a bit of disarray right now because it's an industrial area and the trash hasn't been cleaned up. It's like the beginning phases of the game when you jump right on in. So yeah, I feel like this build is definitely going to be very much so. It fits very, very well into that right now. But this apartment-ish kind of build is inspired by another video game that I play fairly frequently-ish. It's called Cyberpunk 2077. I definitely recommend checking out the game itself if you have the chance to, or watching some gameplay. It's an incredible RPG, open world, just amazing game. I love it so much. It's a lot to explain. It's too much to explain in just a short video like this, but yes, it definitely inspired me to build this, and it took me a little bit of time to build something like this because it was a lot of little details that I wanted to get to add into this build, and it was, oh my gosh, it was so much fun, let me tell you. Like, I really enjoy building grungy, like urban just builds where they're just like falling apart, gross, like trashy. Like, I love that stuff. I thrive off of it. There's just something about it that's just so far from what I'm used to, because like obviously I live in, you know, a small town in the middle of a city-ish kind of place in Kentucky. So this is like far-fetched. This is like way out of this world for me, like, because it's on a port. It's in Port Promise in Evergreen Harbour, and then it's this kind of urban, kind of industrial like building that has been converted into a home. And I would say that this would actually be very fun to renovate because you know, with eco lifestyle, the gameplay is very much so centered around, you know, improving the environment and, you know, having cleaner energy. And I feel like that would be a really cool opportunity with this build because it's definitely like industrial to a T. Like, it's a stone concrete cube, not really cube, but it's just a block of concrete, and it has pipes sticking out of it, and it's got trash everywhere. Like, I made sure to add as much grungy, gross, nonsensical trash just scattered everywhere across this lot, and it was just so fun. Okay, so if you have actually played Cyberpunk, or if you've even seen any gameplay of it, in the game you can actually buy other apartments. This is actually a fairly recent thing, because you start out in the game, you have your own apartment. It's like your home base in the world, in the city of Night City, and later on you're able to buy other apartments to have like other bases. You still have your original apartment, but you can just buy all these apartments and just have different places you can live and stay in, and just like, I don't know, it's really cool. And there's one called it's called Northside Apartment, and it's the cheapest apartment that you can buy, and it's small, it's grungy. It looks like when you walk into the area, it's in an apartment building that looks like a really grungy rundown motel, and it's honestly such a vibe. I don't know what it is, but you know me, I love me a good like cottage, a little witchy house, a little magical tiny home. Like, I love me that vibe. But there's something about this like futuristic cyberpunk grunge that I've just been really into lately. It's like something so different from what I've ever really experienced in my personal life, but also just like with media that I consume, because you know me, I'm a Harry Potter freak. I love Harry Potter. I love fan fiction. I'm a magical person, practical magic with the beautiful Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman. That is my favorite movie of all time. And the most fantastical, crazy movies outside of that would be like The Mummy or The Mask of Zorro. Oh gosh, I'm very, very much so a bisexual, just to remind you. And yeah, The Mummy is my favorite movie of all time too. Oh god, there's so many good ones. Anyways, I'm digressing, but just playing Cyberpunk definitely has opened up my like desire for some reason. Like there's just so many things in this game that is just so different. Like you have like street cred, and you know what, here's a good way of describing the game. It's a little bit like Grand Theft Auto, but it's not, because it has a really good story. I think it's a better story than Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto, for me, this is just an outsider perspective. I'm not judging anyone who's played it or the themes behind it all or what it's inspired from. I'm just saying that it definitely felt more one-sided. It felt more like black and white in the sense like, oh, this is your character is committing crimes and stuff like that. Again, it's just very straight. That's just what I'm saying. It's very straight, boy. That's what I'm saying. Yes, that's what I'm saying. But anyways, what I meant to say is Cyberpunk, it's definitely queer. Like it's definitely much more than just a typical story. There's so many characters that your character V, that he or she or they or whatever, that they interact with and they grow close with. And there's all these romance options. And the cool thing is with the romance, you can just romance everybody and it not be an issue. There's not like jealousy. You're not like locked into one character. You can just romance everybody, and then like you get to kind of go further with one if you please. And you don't even have to do that. It's really cool. But it's a very good, like if you're interested in it, it used to be broken. Like the game back in the day was really like not well made. It was rushed. It was released way too early. And it was very like, you know, it's very much like a game that we all love and we all play a lot. But regardless, they've definitely improved the game immensely in the past like year or two, and the game itself is a beautiful game to play. Like the city that you're in, it's called Night City, which you can kind of get the vibe from this build roughly. It definitely looks similar to this. It's very much so a grungy cityscape, and it's gritty and gross in some areas, and it's definitely a little bit dystopian. I'm just gonna be real. It's very much so a dystopian universe, but at the same time, it's really fun to look at because there's beauty in it too. Like even though the city itself is horrible, there is a lot of beauty in the people that you make connections with in this story. And there's so many characters. And the thing is, the female characters in this game are so well written, which is so hard to say about a lot of stories. Let me tell you, a lot of games, I mean, not stories. I'm not talking about a fan fiction today. Like just for example, my favorite female character in the whole game is Pan Am. Her name is Pan Am Palmer, and she is, first of all, she's beautiful. I'm just being real. I'm romancing her with my V. He's a male V, but you know, I'm romancing them. They're very bisexual though. I'm just trying to say that they're not, you know what I mean, right? So, but yeah, like overall, like her character is so well written because she just comes from like this nomadic clan of people that travel, and it's just, I don't know, there's just something about it that just warms my heart, and it's just so good. But anyways, back to the build. I'm done rambling about that. You've seen me build the actual structure itself here, and yeah, I just put a lot of debug and live edit objects around. I put so much trash, and you know, I put some dead plants. I put a hydroponic planter from Eco Lifestyle. That car is base game. That one in the front there, it's interesting. It looks very futuristic and bougie, and I thought, you know what? It kind of fits the vibe. If this is going to be futuristic, that's what I'm going to do. So here I am moving on to the interior of the build, and the inside, I went with such a vibe that I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. I decided to change the color of the lighting, which I don't ever really do. Like, this is something I definitely recommend if you want to change the overall vibe of a build. Changing the lighting color transforms it. So the Better Build by mod by Twisted Mexi actually allows me to change the lighting in build mode, so I didn't have to like jump in and out with a sim. But basically, I made it all purple. And it looks so cool. Like, it changed it from just a messy little apartment to something that looks futuristic and lived in. Like, it just looks like there was effort made to make it look purple. And it changes the colors of everything in the room too. It changes just like how you see them, which is very realistic. That's just how it is. Like, lighting transforms color. Like, color is light, and how light like the color of light also causes the reflection of colors being put into our eyes. You know, I'm not going to try to explain it because I'm not going to be able to describe it the best, but essentially the color of the light transforms how we perceive the color itself. And it definitely did here. And it looks so pretty. And it just looks urban, and it looks like it's from Cyberpunk. I made it really grungy, and I guess you could say this is an apartment pretty much. If I was to do this again, I would probably put like a couple of these buildings next to each other and be like, oh, there's some apartments. But I didn't really want to do that just because I really liked all the grunginess outside. But yeah, I made it really grungy and gross in here. Not gross. I don't want to say gross. It's not disgusting. It's just a little trashy here and there. Like, there's some garbage in the floor. There's some dirty laundry, but it's really not that bad inside. It really isn't. It's definitely not like it is outside. Let's be honest. But yeah, I put some, like dirty laundry and just some candles and, plants and just, I don't know. I just made it a very like cozy, grungy little place. And this upstairs here is like the bedroom, bathroom, like gaming room kind of space, and then the downstairs is just like a kitchen with a bar in it. I don't know, I just felt like that made sense with this build, because I feel like the sim that lives here is definitely not going to be a family oriented sim. If anything, like a sim that would move into here, they're definitely a like gamer, they're definitely like a tech person. Maybe they moved in here and they want to improve the environment, but they're also very techy and gamey at the same time. So I don't know, and they have some knickknacks that they've collected over time. I think that this sim would be very eclectic as a person too. So yeah, I don't know. What kind of sim would you think that lives here? I did use some items from Batu. I'm just gonna be honest. Batu, weirdly enough, that pack has some pretty excellent build buy items, like without hesitation. Even the creative sim stuff's pretty good, but this build buy stuff, it's so good. It just has a grunge to it that I feel like fits with this kind of atmosphere. And then I added, that lamp. Oh my gosh, that lamp on the desk is actually from Strangerville. I never really used that before, and you know what? It's purple and it worked so perfectly with this overall vibe. But the bed is actually from Eco Lifestyle. It's a debug bed that you can actually get from dumpsters, and it's really cheap. It's like 25 simoleons or something like that. And I thought, you know what? It kind of fits, because I didn't want a bed in here that looked like it had a frame and was very traditional. And I also really liked how there's some like tears in the blanket too, so it makes it look like it's been, used and lived in. And I don't know, I think I went off with this build, y'all. I'm just being honest. I think I did incredible. I just got inspired and I was just like, I'm gonna do this. And it's actually funny because I found something on Pinterest that was really, really cool. I'll try to leave it in the description and if you want to check it out. But it was like this building concept, and it was like this similar shape to this. It was like a industrial building concept, and I don't know if it was like supposed to be like a lived in space or anything. It just looked cool, and I was like, I really want to use that as like inspo for a build. So I did it, and it worked out pretty well. So yeah, just another reminder, when it comes to building in The Sims 4, you don't always have to go online and be like, type in this, modern house or something like that, because you're gonna get so much from that. So finding inspiration from other places and other games and other media is a really good place to go, because like for me, I really like building magical homes too, and I get a lot of my inspiration from places like fan fiction or practical magic, like that kind of overall vibe, like I get from that. And then yeah, like just look in other places. Hell, even look at movies or, TV shows. And if you see a house or like a room or anything like that, you can find something there. Sorry, I had to pause there for a second because there was a siren passing by my house because I live on the main road in my city, and like the main road. It's not called Main Street, funnily enough, but it's like the main road in the city, and it's just booming all the time. But yeah, I just added more purple colors like the wallpaper. The wallpapers, they're beautiful. First of all, I used the wallpaper from Spooky Stuff. I know, but look at that. Doesn't it fit so well? And then I used another wallpaper from the Dream Home Decorator Pack, and then another wallpaper from the Maximalist kit that we got recently. It just all came together and it all kind of worked. So yeah, but here is the kitchen space. And at first I was thinking, should I make this a cough growing room? I decided against that because I don't want to get flagged on my channel, but also I was like, you know what? They need a kitchen. They need a kitchen to survive. So I was like, I'm just going to put one in here, and I put a regular fridge, but then I also put this other fridge that you could buy food from. That's actually a little nod to Cyberpunk, because in your apartments, there's actually these weird like vending machines that synthesize food. It's almost like Into the Future, like no joke. It's like Sims 3 Into the Future, but these are like synthesizers that make synthetic food so that you can eat, and you can just order them and it just creates it right in your apartment. And it's kind of weird because the apartments you have don't have kitchens at all. They just have that, and that's it. And it's like such a weird thing because like that's how it is in this Cyberpunk 2077 universe. Like they have synthetic meat and synthetic food, like not synthetic as in plastic, but synthetic as in it's made. Like, I don't know, it's kind of wild. Like, it's such a cool universe to explore, and I hope that I captured it okay in this build because I really had a lot of fun with it. And I don't know, the lighting is so cool in here. I'm definitely doing this again. I'm definitely going to try out something different and try out using different colors of lighting to change the overall vibe, because I definitely agree that it changes it to something that's just simple to a bit more, I don't know, polished and a lot more like grungy. Like I was thinking the other day, I was like, what if I did like a underground dance club that was like themed around fire, and all the lights were like orange and red, and you had like the dance floors that looked like lava and magma. Like, wouldn't that be cool? I would love to do that. I want to give community lots a shot, but I feel like I'm not as good at doing them as builds like houses, because they're supposed to appeal to different things. Like, it's, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and try it one day. But yeah, I made this light in the kitchen here green because I thought, you know what, the purple and the green would actually complement each other really well, and I think it did. It looks really, really cool. You can see how the bulb looks green and the light itself looks kind of purplish from this light. Just look at that. Isn't that so cool? Like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've just discovered something. Like, we've had this game for like what, 8 years, and I'm just now discovering that the lighting can really change how it looks. So yeah, you know what I forgot? A pride flag. I really should have put a pride flag in this build. Let's be honest. It needs it. Like, oh, and I made this little bathroom in here red or pink. Ooh, isn't that so cool? Doesn't that look so cool? Like, it just transformed it. It, like, there's barely anything in that bathroom, but changing the light changed it and made it look so good. I don't know. I put a little meditation stool right here on the little teeny tiny balcony here. I thought that would kind of be a nice little zen place for them. Maybe not really to do deep breaths because the air is very toxic right now, so they probably should avoid that. But maybe if they have like a mask or something. But, you know, anyways, this house is available up on the gallery. All you have to do is search for my username, luccaowens. It is LUCCAOWENS. And then you can also look up the hashtag Lucca, that is LUCCA, all lowercase. That information will be found in the description down below if you just want to look it up and not have to watch me or hear me say it. But yeah, do let me know in the comments down below what you think of this build. I am obsessed with a T. I love it. I definitely want to do more grungy, gross builds. I don't even want to say this is gross because the interior is really cool. Like, it's so cool. And my boyfriend, he loved it. Like, my boyfriend was the one who got me into playing Cyberpunk, and he looked at it last night and was like, that's really cool, Luke. And I'm like, yes. Like, I just love impressing people because I'm a Leo, and it's just I'm a people pleaser. Let's be honest. It's a toxic trait a little bit, but you know, it's just me. I'm a Leo. So, but yeah, I love you all. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay home. Stay healthy. Stay hydrated, and all that fun stuff. And yeah, that's everything. Thank you all so very much for watching. Stay weird and beware of the nargles. Bye, y'all.